Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Conquest video guide. Now you'll be able to find these and all my other Conquest video guides, as well as my daily plan, feats guide and enemies counter tool on my SWGOH Live website. If you haven't seen it yet, the link in the description below, so you can go ahead and check it out if you want. Now for this video I'll be showing you some of the teams here that you can use in Sector 1, depending obviously on what you have in your roster, that can complete multiple global and sector feats at the same time, helping you to reduce the amount of battles you need to do. And I'll do a separate video just for the mini boss and final boss battles. But anyway, let's just kick off the footage first now by reviewing the feats that we have to do here in Sector 1. They're quite straightforward. You have to defeat 50 enemies with droids, win 14 battles with no tanks, inflict ability block 60 times and gain defense up 40 times. In most likelihood, if you're using some of these teams that I'll show you, you should be completing pretty much all the feats more or less when you're done with Sector 1, except probably you have to come back and do a few droid battles afterwards. But anyway, let's first see what we have on first note. We have a Star Killer, so that's a new one actually for the Conquest. We haven't had Star Killer as an enemy on the nose before, and the modifier unleashed Star Killer's Omicron is activated. Ouch. But luckily, obviously, we'll be having data disc as we are progressing through the sectors that will help us defeat this. And luckily, hey, it's not under Pulp's lead, so it's not going to be that crazy in terms of turn meter train when they get going. So why don't we just kick off first Sector 1 with Clone Wars Chewbacca lead video that will get you 40 defense up in a single battle. You will lose the battle, but you know, the feat will still count. You will not lose stamina on these characters, so you just need Clone Wars Chewbacca as the lead. It doesn't even matter, to be honest, how highly geared he is. He's there just for the leadership, and they're just bringing 4 tanky characters that can take a lot of hits, because with Chewbacca's leadership, anytime your guys are being hit, you have 50% chance to gain defense up. So while your guys are getting hit, especially all his AoEs, you'll be very quickly be raking up here the defense up. Also used Old Ben there for the mind trick, right? So he can get ability block out, so you get 5 ability blocks there with Old Ben. When he taunts, he grants defense up everybody. And same thing with the Barris, when she uses her heal ability, again grants defense up to everybody. And then you can just hit auto, to be honest, and let your guys lose this battle. It doesn't matter. Here we go, Star Killer pulling it out of the sky, and down goes Malak. But that's okay, this went as planned because I was able to get 40 defense up 40 times in a single attempt. No issues whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about that feat for the rest of the sector. Alright, let's kick off now with some droid battles. So we kind of have multiple ways to do it. You can do some sort of Grievous lineup. Obviously this is not ideal lineup for Grievous to counter Star Killer. You would want to bring in Magna Guard, you would want to bring in B2 as well. But those two are tanks, and we do have this feat in Sector 1. You have to win battles without using a tank. So it's really down to you. Would you rather have a Grievous team here without a tank to get a no tank feat, or would you rather get a 3-star finish with B2 and Magna Guard in there? It's really down to you. What you would like, what you need. Bringing IG there because he's got this AoE right for ability block, so hopefully he can get it out. Now he's not Separatist Droid, so you can't heal him up unfortunately, and he won't benefit from bonus turn meter. Let's see if we can get Barris out so they stop healing. Alright, here comes Vader, doing what Vader does, merciless. Probably I would say Vader here is the biggest threat, because you know, in his merciless he's getting so many turns, and anytime he uses his basic, Star Killer gets called to assist. Mara herself is not the biggest threat here really, because it's not Pulp's lead. At least that's in my opinion, but we'll see as you know the Conquest progresses and we're getting up to the higher sectors how deadly this Star Killer team will become. So we got another Grievous team. So as mentioned before, you can kind of do the standard Grievous team here with both Magna Guard and B2. They are tanks, however, so you won't be completing the no tanks feat if you do use them, but versus certain enemies, if you obviously do want a 3-star win, you will have to bring these 2 guys in instead of somebody like I used before with BB-8, right? As soon as you get going, this was also towards the end of the sector, as you can see on the screen. I had a few data discs equipped already, which makes very quick work here of these poor Geonosians. They can't really do much. Another AoE and down they go. Okay, so let's move on to another droid battle here. There are multiple ways you can do this. Like you could try and cheese it a little bit with Jedi Master Luke. Obviously you will need here as well Shakti and her Meteora, so they can keep calling Threepio and Chewie to assist, because he's a light side character, and they need what, just to put a permataunt over on Luke, and then everybody just keep calling here Threepio and Chewie to assist, and he's getting all the kills here. Depending on the enemy, how you want to go about this, like versus Scarf, you want to probably Daze mission, and then you just want to take out Canderous before he gets a turn. Shakti there has got a Dispel on her basic. I'm not using AoE Flux there from my Luke. I don't want him to defeat enemies. I want to keep calling here Threepio and Chewie for assist, because he's a droid, so he can get those kills out that we do need here in this feat. There we go, just basics, no AoEs here. Master training over on Threepio and Chewie. So far doing good progress there. Down goes Zalbar, there we go, got already I think 2 kills now with Threepio and Chewie. Have to a little bit start working on Nest, because you know, because of her bonus protection and everything. There we go, down goes as one mission. I'll hide Threepio and Chewie there so he doesn't get stunned by Nest or something, because she can ignore taunts. Okay, there we go. Finish off card, finish off Nest, and down they go. So there you go. You can also cheese in this kind of way if you don't have a whole lot of good droids here and you have Master Luke. Another way is you can bring in Silas and the Rebel droids, and they can get some work done as well. So this is versus an Inquisitor squad here, and you can just keep calling there Threepio and Chewie to assist, try to time hits in a way that, you know, any other droids aside there from CLS get a kill. So there you go, got 1 kill there with R2 with his burning. Okay, there we go. Who do I want to go after? I'm not really too familiar with how Inquisitors work here. Oh, we got some ability blocks. Let's take him out, I guess. Maybe should go after Grand Inquisitor. There you go, another kill there with R2. So got 2 kills there with droids already. Now Chopper, even though he does have a taunt ability, he's not a tank, he's actually support, so he will also count for the no tank feat here in this sector 1. There we go, another droid kill here. There we go, I think all kills, if I saw correctly, were droid kills. Definitely another kind of droid mishmash team here that can work really well here in sector 1. And of course we can't forget the Queen of Droids, Rey Jedi training with the free resistance droid, and I'm bringing then Vet Han for his AoE ability block, so hopefully he can get it out and ability block a lot of guys here. Obviously the issue here is that maybe Han and Rey can snipe some of the kills out, especially Rey, because she's getting so many turns because of all the exposes and everything. But you know, at least it's a full resistance team, so maybe even if you do get only 1 or 2 droid kills, at least you're making good progress towards your global resistance feat while you're working through. Obviously versus this particular lineup, I put first Confusion on Kenobi so he doesn't taunt, then you just want to take out Jedi Knight Anakin so he doesn't really do much. Those ability blocks there from Veteran Han came really handy for finishing Yoda. He decided to finish off Kenobi, even though it wasn't a droid kill. I didn't want to mess with him. Okay, there we go. Ability block over there. Getting some assists. Another ability block. Let's get burning going. Illuminated Destiny. So this is when he called for assists. I'm not sure who got the kill in the end, but this last one definitely went to R2. So definitely with this team you can probably time it in a way that you can get 2 free droid kills per battle, while also obviously knocking out the global resistance feat. So speaking of resistance, obviously you got a few choices here what you want to do. If you do have Galactic Legendary, you can just put some non-tank resistance characters and she can carry the battle herself. There's no issues really, just keep spamming Lifeblood until you get to Whirlwind, and then you can just take somebody out. So this was another Star Killer team I faced later on in the sector. I was pretty sure without Pulps leading there, you know, they can't get their Terminator train rolling as we normally see in Grand Arena or Territory Wars. So there we go, I should be able to use Whirlwind on my next turn. I'll just take Star Killer out first when I get a chance. They also don't have a tank in here, so while this is a Star Killer team, you know, it's not that crazy. As long as you take Star Killer out or Vader, you should be good to go, because the other guys can't really do much. Whirlwind prevents revives, so Visas, you know, she won't be able to bring Starkiller back. You should have used her revive ability. Unload the ultimate, and there we go. We got some no attacker as well as resistance team done here. So yeah, if you don't know what kind of modifier they actually have here, Inquisitors, it's a Dark Pursuit. So this is the modifier from Galactic Challenge. Nothing too crazy. So I'm like, you know what? If you wanna, we can actually put together 3 resistance team. If you do have Galactic Legend Rey, you've got Rey Jedi training the droids, then Rey with a bunch of leftovers, and then if you do have Finn lead here, especially if Zayt on him, you can get something work here in Sector 1 because the enemies aren't too fast yet. So I was able to get lots of exposes, and I'll just go around hitting those exposes, which will feed turn meter to your team. There we go, AoE, more turn meter for everybody, so making very quick work here of these Inquisitors. Although this was, you know, towards the end of Sector 1 when I had some nice data disc set already, as you can see displayed on the screen in this particular battle. So definitely there are more ways to get your resistance battles done, not just relying on Rey and Rey Jedi training. Also OG Finn can do some work here. Alright, so now we are moving to these mishmash teams here, where it's a combination of resistance and first order characters, I guess. So we have this torn apart feat where we have to win, I think, 20 battles with Vet Han and Kylo Ren unmasked surviving. So there are more ways to do this. One of the teams I like to use is just Beskar Mando, Han and Chewie, because these 3 characters, at this point I didn't have data disc yet, but once you do have like Volatile Accelerator and 2 Amplified data discs, they can pretty much just 3 of them themselves defeat most teams, and then Vet Han and Kylo are there just for the feed. They don't really do a whole lot, to be honest. But here they did put in the work, obviously, because I didn't have those data discs yet. As you can see, I had no data disc equipped at this point, because this was, I think, the 2nd team I faced in the sector, or maybe the 3rd. So we got those. Once you get Hugs down in this particular team, as well as Sith Trooper, it's easy going from here on out. And Beskar Mando's, his Whistling Birds, they do apply healing immunity, so then Kylo wouldn't be able to heal as well. So that's how you can get around Kylo's healing. Another way you can do this, if you do have Lord Vader, it's a very good option as well, because Kylo Ren unmasked. He's obviously unaligned Force user, so he will benefit from the leadership of Lord Vader. At this point I had so many Amplified Donated discs equipped, all I needed was Lord Vader's AoE, and Ewoks just fell down one at a time. Very, very quick and easy win. Okay, so we've got another this mishmash as well. Well, I call it the Reylo feat, where you have to win with 5 versions of Rey or Kylo. So this one, unfortunately, you will need to have at least either Rey or Kylo Galactic Legends, otherwise you will only have 4. You have 2 Reys, 2 Kylos, so you won't be able to do this feat, so you will be missing out on the 15 key cards. So either you can do it with Rey lead or Kylo lead, whatever you've got, doesn't matter. And unfortunately, there's a lot of now overlap within these feats, where, you know, you have to do 40 resistance battles, 40 first order, and then you have to do 20 with this Reylo team, and then 20 with Vet Han and Kylo Ren mask. So there's like lots of overlap there. So it's not as straightforward as it sounds. Probably designed by that on purpose, but you know, you just have to work with it. Also here, when I had Kylo Ren, I tried to time hits that Kylo Ren was doing the kills here, because remember, we have this global feat where we have to defeat 100 enemies with either Supreme Kylo Ren or Kylo Ren, the OG one. And in this case, I think I got 3 kills with Kylo Ren. So, you know, whenever you do this kind of Reylo mishmash team with Rey in the lead, try to time hits that Kylo Ren does the damage. So this is just the same team, but instead of Rey in the lead, obviously you also can have Supreme Kylo Ren. And here we've got actually 2 Kylos. So hopefully, again, trying to time the kills in a way that they are the ones doing the damage. So we already took out Anakin. That should be a priority number 1. Took out their Kenobi as well. See if we can finish off Ahsoka. Oh, no, unfortunately, damage over time took her down, so it wouldn't count as the kill of my Kylo, but Padme did go down, so got 3 Kylo kills there, so not bad at all. That's probably what you should aim for, kind of average around 3 to 4 kills a battle. So speaking of Kylos, a few different first order comps depending on what you've got and what feats you're trying to achieve. Obviously, if you do have Supreme in the Kylo Ren, you can actually form in one way kind of, I would say, 2 first order teams, especially here in Sector 1. As you're progressing, probably the only first order team that you will be able to make something work is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So if you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, then you just have to find some weak enemy here in Sector 1 and just come back and cheese kills against that team. Because obviously in the higher sectors you will be struggling without Kylo Ren. The reason why I brought in all these characters in, they all fit their meter to Kylo, and Pilot can call Kylo for an assist, ensuring that all the kills are done by Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, nobody else. And because this is Sector 1, obviously I didn't use any tanks in here for the no tank feat. So here's a team, for example, if you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and you do need to get those 100 Kylo kills in, you can have OG Kylo here, so similar like the team I showed you before, but this time you fit all the turn meter, all the buffs, everything over to OG Kylo, so he's the one doing all the damage here. So this was also towards the beginning of Sector. I didn't have any data this yet, so you know, if you're struggling a little bit with your Kylo to get this done, you can always come back later once you have better data disk equipped, like Amplify Agony and things like that, so he'll be able to do more damage. And then okay, and also because of Hux, Phoenix, they won't be able to counterattack while he has dominance, so actually Phoenix I think is a good team to try this up against, and it will also count obviously as your full first order team that we do need it for the global feat. There we go, get an assist. Oh, almost got her down. We'll save her for Kylo to finish off, so I think I got in total here, was it 3 or maybe 4 kills with our OG Kylo, so there we go. This kind of first order team works as well. The reason why I didn't bring Sith Trooper, because his assist can do all the damage. Now speaking of Sith Trooper, if you don't, you know, if you just have this as a secondary first order team, whereas the other team with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is your main team for doing Kylo kills, then you can also do something like this. This was towards the end of the sector. Stamina wasn't full on my guys anymore, as you've seen. Also bounty hunters were a bit faster, still kind of able to pull this off, so you'll have to pick your enemies carefully if you do want to run a secondary first order team behind your Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team that I showed you earlier. But here again, just kind of passing turns here, trying to boost their meter. If I get boss scout quickly now, I think we should have this thing under control. There we go, big hit there. Definitely helping out. The data is already making big difference here, that we can take out, you know, these enemies that are a little bit better already as you're approaching towards end of Sector 1. So there you go, another first order team. Obviously without Kylo kills, this will just count as the first order and no tank as well here in Sector 1. If you really want to just focus on farming and cheesing Kylo kills, no other feat, you can just bring in OG Kylo, bring in Watt, find yourself a Carf node and go to town with these guys. I think this was even with no data disk equipped, right? It was in the beginning. I just put a tank tech over on OG Kylo so he can cleanse off, you know, those dazes and any sort of ability blocks or whatever these guys got, and especially stun from Nest. And then he can take these guys to town. There we go, we got stun there, but we'll clean it up. Okay, so you can see OG Kylo doing big hits, and I don't even have 6 dot mods on him, so if I would mod him better, he could do even more. So definitely, if you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and you're struggling to do kills here with your first order, as long as you got a decent OG Kylo, he could definitely do some work versus these kind of Carf teams, maybe even Ewoks. Just try to find some weak team that he potentially can solo with some better data disks. At the moment I don't really have any data disks yet, so again, if I would have Amplify Agony in here, probably this would be even easier. The good thing about this is his basic can land healing immunity, so it will stop healing versus many of these teams that do have healing. So yeah, one fun way I guess to unleash Kylo solo, because we don't really get to do that much here anymore in Grand Arena. Solo Kylo won't get you far anymore, at least obviously where I'm in Kyber League. There you go, getting 5 kills with OG Kylo. Now let's do some ability team forward ability block. If you don't know, Krennic, whenever you critically hit debuffed enemies, you will land ability block on them, so you can very quickly rack up a few ability blocks here. by using an Empire team that all got AoEs. Now I don't have because I went versus Phoenix here, my Vader got so much speed that he went before Gideon. Ideally, your Gideon goes first, he will apply Demoralize straight away, and then when your Vader comes in with Force Crush, that would be already 5 ability blocks. If he lands a critical hit, that is. But anyway, let's go around now. His basic will land ability blocks anyway, so you don't really see the interaction here with the leadership from Krennic. But here on AoE, there we go. With the AoE, we landed ability block there over on Zeb. It's definitely, you know, a fun team here if you just want to rack up a lot of ability blocks here to throw in, so you don't need to worry about ability blocks the rest of sector. But you know, between Vedhan, you know, you should be able to get as well quite a few ability blocks out with him also. And now we just have to take these guys out. Shocks will a little bit help here from Phoenix to stop healing up from Kanan's unique. And once Kanan is down as well, no counter attacks and everything. So now we just have to here take these guys out. Again, on purpose, didn't use any tanks in here, because you remember we need to win 14 battles without any tanks here in Sector 1. So majority of these teams that I'm showing you specifically don't have a tank for that very reason. Moving on to next battle. Just another kind of, this team only will get you the no tank feat here in Sector 1, but if your roster is smaller, you don't have enough teams, you just need a few teams here to get you through Sector 1, because you're out of stamina on those couple of teams that you do have. You know, Jedi are a very good team as well. At this point I had some solid data D set already, as you see on the screen. Just put all the buffs over on Jedi Luke and let him go to town. Oh! See, I wasn't expecting that, but that was nice. And true damage, doing some big hits on Malak as well here. I mean, this is only Sector 1, so enemies, even enemies like Darth Revan aren't too scary here. Let's get some stuns. Now that with Revan's out, we can actually land those stuns, get an assist from Luke, 192k. Boom. Marauder's a bit tankier, so you won't be hitting him as hard as maybe some of the other characters. But there we go. This is also a great team here, the Jedi Revan Jedi, for the no tanks feat. So another no tanks feat team. Again, you can bring in CLS and all the Chewies and everything, and then bring in Briggs, his support. Briggs is great because if he gets hit, he gains 100% per meter, obviously allowing you to do more damage as well. Now this Starkiller team will go down very quickly because I had already Amplify Agony and Volatile Accelerator discs equipped. So just go after Visa. She can't revive anybody. As you can see, we are tearing this team apart very quickly. Getting rid of Vader. Starkiller can counter attacks. I'm trying here to get some assist instead of direct attacks. John AoE here wasn't enough to finish off Barris. A couple of more hits there, and obviously Threepio and Chewie is a droid, so maybe he'll be able to get a kilo or two as well in this kind of team. So definitely CLS along with the Jedi, you know, is going to be a great team just to get you through the nodes without using any tanks. Alright, so that's all for this video. So at the end of the sector, let's go ahead and review my progress here. So as you can see, apart from the droid one, I have to come back and do a few more battles at some point. All the other feats knocked out. It's definitely straightforward here. You know, if you have at least one Kylo already, that is. If you have neither, it's gonna take a little bit longer to get these feats knocked out, but you know, it's still possible, I think, to do. And looking at global feats, definitely doing very good progress here, especially Vader Shadow feat. Well, I'm really happy with my progress there, and all the others as well. You know, really here on my way, hopefully, to get it red crate. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. Hope you find it useful and helpful, just showing you some team suggestions that can get you, you know, multiple feats done in battle to reduce the amount of battles you need to do, especially for those global feats that we have to do as well, on top of the Sector 1 feats. Obviously, I'll see you in Sector 2 video tomorrow, but thank you for watching, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.